Hello, yesterday was my birthday and I have a great time, but I have sad news about my camera. Now it's just not working and I made photos on camera because I want to have good photos with cake, but it stopped working and like we made photo and I saw it on memory card that was in camera, but when I put this card in laptop, the half of this photo was deleted and it was so sad because now I have only 2 photos from it. It's not only about not having photo on birthday, it's about I can't make photo shoots now. I don't know how to fix it and I don't know where I can go to fix this problem. This is not useful now. It's just a piece of something that's not working and not turn it on. So yeah. But good news that we finally have Wi-Fi, because we waited for it around 2.5 months, like since we come here, and no one can fix this problem for 2 months, but finally we have it. We can start live like we want. It was London Fashion Week, maybe you hear about this, and today I wanna watch video about fashion designers from London, about their collection. For me it's very interesting how designers in London make their own business and make their collections, and ID magazine made video of it, so let's watch together.
This is Ida and Jello. They don't really like each other.
They're so cute.
We love London.
I can't.
We love London. We love London, but we want to escape London.
Yeah.
It definitely has to do mostly with cost. It's become quite a hard place to exist.
I do think that there's lots of opportunities, there's liveliness to the city.
London is great, but how much time do I spend like availing of like all the amazing stuff that's here? Not very much, because I'm always sort of working.
In London, you need like a support group. You need people around you who believes in your work. Yeah, London and community just like come together. It was that like separately that it's a nightmare. Big cup.
What am I shaking?
Nerves.
Oh, myself. Okay. My name is Sinead O'Dwyer. I'm a fashion designer based in London.
Hi, I'm Febin and I'm a designer based in London.
I'm Emma. I'm Laura. And we're Povaluana.
My name is Masha Popova. I'm a fashion designer. Yeah, that's it.
There was a particular moment for me when I realized that fashion was a thing for me. It kind of grew naturally. I grew up in Sweden and I felt like I didn't really, belong, and also, my mother dressed very differently, so that kind of became like her tool of navigating.
I little feel like she, because my mom always doing for us like dresses or costumes for some party, and it was always interesting how she make clothes, and I think because of it I start interested about fashion and about clothes, because my mom always do something like this.
Herself in society. I kind of created that for myself too.
I'm from the countryside, and like my parents wouldn't necessarily have been like into fashion. Actually, my grandmother, she always knit, and she taught me to sew when I was really small, actually. Not really thinking of it as like a fashion-related thing, but more like making craft, like as a hobby.
I finished a year in architecture in Ukraine. I started like working in architecture and I realized how it's so like static and very slow. I just felt like I changed my mind very fast, and I just want to try a new thing, and I just kind of like fashion came naturally.
My mom was a big influence. She worked in like creative fields and painted and loved clothes.
When we met each other, we were both drawn to crafts and making, which kind of brought us together.
That's so cool that they become friends and they make their clothes together, because it's so important to have some support in it, and that's so cool when you have friends that also interested in fashion like you. I want to have this friend, I want to make clothes with someone.
Denim is like my really favorite thing. You can do so much with it. You don't buy fabric because you like the fabric and then you make clothes with it. I use the fabric as a like empty canvas. I have leftovers of denim from this collection. Next collection could look completely different and nobody would ever know that it's exactly the same fabric, but it is. This one is that my interns hate me the most for, because they have to like brush it after.
I like how she make denim colorful, like, you know, this basic jeans, and make something from basic. It's so unusual, and I like this way of thinking.
To make it fluffy. Obviously, when like Dua Lipa happened, I mean, it's just crazy. Like, there's butterfly top that existed in my collection. It just became like a main thing somehow.
I will try to find the top that she made for Dua Lipa. Also, I found a photo on Model, so we can watch both photos of the top. And it's really look cool.
After she wore this top, like until now, a year after, just everyone wants to buy this top. I feel like I want to stop making it. Like, I don't want it anymore. The new collection is about like driving really fast on the highway. So it's like inspired by like racing, but not really like the racing cars, but more like the feeling. It meant to look like you know, the oil spilled in the water and like in a puddle. This is sort of like a flower print, very classical, but it looks like, you know, when they drive fast in the car and take a picture, it's like smudged images. So yeah, it's always about like kind of translating the moods through, but not being like very obvious. I don't own my own car, I don't drive. Yeah, I guess it's a beauty in it, just wanting something you don't have. I did also this like swirls in this car. You know, like when they like drive and like in drifting car in the circles, and like there are marks of like this sort of donuts thing. So I have them on like garments and they're like stitched like that.
But it's very interesting that she inspired by car racing. You can find like inspiration in everything. You just need to choose subjects that inspire you, or colors, or someone outfits, or like nature, and put it in your art to show people what impressed you.
I don't enjoy do like a technical drawing, sending it to the factory and they would make it in new fabric. I think it's like so inspiring, boy. Because I love make my life difficult.
I look at different objects a lot. It could be like anything like random that I really like it could be the color or the shape. It's very, you know, object and character based. Here is one of our twist pieces. So we have it in dresses, skirts, tops. You know, it's a piece that is evolving, and I think, yeah, it's kind of like a signature right now. The twist was something that I developed during my MA. I've worked with a lot of draping, but I'm so into like textures, so that's how I kind of developed it, by draping, but also like sewing to create these kind of twist bits. We also do felting with merino wool. And this piece here is from the MA collection, the first twist top. I don't know.
I like this texture that she made. It look really unusual, and fabric look more interesting.
I think it's really important to try to be the best version of yourself as a person before, you know, being the best designer, because you can see it in your work and what you stand for. It's not just about clothes, it's about who you are and how you can support and uplift your community.
The part of my personality that was maybe drawn to sort of like conceptual side of fashion has been that I like need to draw from personal narrative. That's something, you know, each season that I usually know what I want to sort of like reflect on. Spring summer 22 was domiciliary, and I mean I nannied for like 12 years overall. I think I was just reflecting on that and thinking about sort of the both really intimate but also like formal place you have within a home as a domestic worker. So I think for me, like, it was like a lot of research into sort of like domestic garments, aprons. One thing that's new this season that we're working on is knit. The work we've done before has been so stretchy, but we've done it all with sort of these elasticated trims that we make with like strips of silk and elastic. These pieces were all based off sort of like shibari rope tying from last season, and then we've kind of continued them in different colorways. This season is I suppose for me, has a similar thing where I'm looking a lot at orchestral wear, because the collection is beginning with sort of memories of my mother, who's a cellist. She's very like emotionally connected when she plays. My mother has always been bugging me to make her a cello dress, so she's getting a cello trouser. Probably the most important thing after clothes for me would probably be casting. What links with that, I suppose, is like actually designing into the people you're fitting for. I realized that it's important to explain to people that like when they don't fit garments, it's because there is a fit model somewhere and there is a sample size, and garments are actually being constructed to fit a particular person. So when you don't fit something, it's not like all about you. I think people don't talk about how fashion is based on like patterns. So I feel for me the most important thing is to try and offer a brand whose patterns are based on someone else. I got some funding for studio equipment.
It looks so interesting, and I don't know how they made it, but it looks so good. If it were on top of some other like turtleneck or other, it will look gorgeous.
Applied for was a mannequin. They make the mannequins like based off a combination of real body measurements, and then they kind of like obviously make a more general size. Yeah, I got my full-size mannequin. Genevieve is Gemini for sure.
Now this mannequin, like when they make mannequin of measures of your body, it's so expensive, but it's so good. Like I think every designer want to have mannequin like this. I know like big fashion brands, they make mannequins of like different celebrity. Like if some celebrity comes, they make a mannequin of the celebrity, and they can sew clothes using this mannequin. But it's really like high level of fashion.
And then we also use this cast. I think for me, I more use this cast and like say other casts I take people's busts as like a beginning point for pattern cutting. So like to get shape, a new shape. But then of course I have real fittings with real people, and then I can adapt shape and stuff based on that. I think it's quite shocking how luxury fashion is allowed to like just so openly discriminate. And it does have an incredibly negative impact on mental health.
First of all of our families are involved. It used to be me that sourced all the textiles. My mom now does it like professionally. She's an employee that does it. Laura's mom does like our accounting, our cash was like more financial side. And
it's so cool when family help you grow up in the professions that you really like and feel support from family.
And Laura's sister does like our day-to-day like accounting. I kind of handle production. Laura handles a little bit more of like all of those like documents.
Cash management.
Yeah. This is one of our classic carabiner skirts. This one in particular is made out of upcycled Bulgarian aprons. We basically cut them in half, repair them, and then we piece them together and pleat them, and we make.
Upcycling become really popular, and I also want to try upcycling some of my clothes, but I never find time to do this. If I will do this, I will show you.
These skirts. And we have a lot of different kind of variations of them with different textiles. This one is kind of a different style, no carabiners, but this is pleated in a different way to kind of show the textile a bit more. So these are tapestries as well, old Bulgarian tapestries, which used to be, they're more wall hanging.
I really like watching what people doing, what clothes, how they thinking, the way of their thinking and how they choose to design their own clothes. So this is the reason why I always like to watch in the fashion show or video like this about designers.
They used to be kind of used as artwork. This is like a bed cover. We've had them for a really long time, but it
finally
just
figured out.
worked really well in the style. This is like
They made this from bed cover, you hear this, and it look really good. It look nice, like I think I would wear this if I had this clothes in my wardrobe.
a more pared back, like rose queen dresses. We have like a few of them that get more and more intense. But we wanted to make these like rose queen gowns because we're inspired by the Rose Festival, which has like a really over-the-top rose queen, and it's really cool.
It's like a Rose Queen competition. Every season we start with a like traditional reference, which is usually relating to like me or Emma, something personal, something in our heritage, something that we relate to. I think it's good because we are two people bringing both our ideas together. So it works in that way, and it gives you lots of information, and we just really enjoy working that way.
I think my biggest challenge is production, definitely. It's really hard. And especially because I sort of develop a lot of techniques with my team that are kind of unconventional in terms of construction. It took me so long to find someone who can shear. That's great, found someone now. But yeah, I think that's definitely my biggest challenge.
Yeah, it's really important to show what you do, not only make things, but also like the whole process of your designing, like from inspiration to ready piece of clothes. So yeah, you must show people not only the finished product, but the all what behind this.
Financially, it's very hard to have a brand, but there is pockets of money out there.
How did you do it, if you don't mind?
How did I?
Yeah.
I'm still broke. I'm joking. But I am.
I mean, any production takes a long time. The problem is like to actually find someone who could like do it, because most of the places they just don't want to take anything complicated because they can get something easier.
I mean, in the beginning, when we graduated, we tried to have a brand for a year, and pretty much nothing worked for us. Every single thing was like a failure, and it was so hard.
Nothing really happened for a year, but it was just like staying in it and staying like keep.
Support is really important for art people, for designers, for photographers. So if you can do this, I will be so happy. Like, please follow me in Instagram and TikTok. I'll be very happy to see you there. Thank you.
Working, keep doing.
It's really because we have each other.
I think that I want to create a better space for people, invite more people that look like me, and to kind of show them that it's possible, you know, like I don't come from money, for example, and I know that it's very hard as a Black woman to exist in this industry. I just want to help change, you know, not one person can do all of it, but I feel like everyone can, you know, push the right direction for sure.
We kind of always questioned, why do we need to add to this? And I think that if like that's why we always love special clothes and we want to make special clothes. And I think upcycling and recycling and using
Wow, it's like a new year.
ethical fibers, having just a good ethical business is very important, and that's definitely where I feel like
younger generations really understand that and really like focus on that. People that are buying the clothes, people starting brands, I think just everyone is more aware and more open to like focusing on being sustainable.
This is the map bag. It's made by Artisans in Ghana, in Accra, and that's an ongoing collaboration. And I think it's really important to remember, you know, how to be sustainable in the workforce.
I love this bag. In this video, they choose so good designers, and they choose designers which work is really interesting to watch. Like I see how many clothes they do, how many energy they put into making this, into showing their personality and their art in clothes. This video is really good, showing young designers.
You know, so it's not just about the materials you're using. People always forget and still forget, like who's in your team, like how can we, talk about mental health and how people are feeling and how they can become a better person and designer,
To be selling a really big size range to wholesalers, that would probably be like the goal. And not just a few pieces. Trying to encourage more people who don't typically have garments made for them to be able to buy like my brand, and think it will take a while to sort of figure all that out. Yeah.
I wish more people were open to talking about like the struggles between each other. I feel like the industry sometimes
wants to talk about all the really good stuff.
all the parties and all the good stuff instead of actually this is really hard.
People sometimes don't understand why things are so expensive, and they just think like that designers like overcharge them. And I hope that maybe with my work they will see how much work is in the process, and etc. etc.
Ida? Right, Ida? Right now. Okay. Thank you.
This is end of this video, and thank you for watching. I hope that you also enjoy watching about London designers with me, because it's really interesting, and you see like that it's more hard than you thought. Like, I think everyone, when they think about designers, thinks that it's so easy to make own brand, just like design, like create and design and start selling it, but it's a lot more than this. So you must think about your clients, about other people, about showing your support to people. Like, you make art, you make clothes to people, for people, not for yourself. So you make it for someone, and you must share that emotion, power with other people. Like, when they wear your clothes, they must feel something. So it's not only about clothes, it's more about emotionals that you give to people. Thank you for watching this with me. Please subscribe my channel if you like this video. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. The links in the description of this video. So I hope I will see you there, and also here later on next video. See you!